Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Blokes in the Yob. I'm Stefan Novakovic.
And I'm Emil Cohen.
And today we're here with Caleb Price, local colorful pants and sunglasses and all sorts of accessories and what have you, enthusiast from Northern Secondary.
Hey, how you guys doing?
So Caleb, could you give us a mini profile for our listeners who might not know you that well?
Mini profile. All right, well, first of all, I don't know really what I'm doing on the show, to be honest.
Neither do we.
Don't watch that much soccer. I've always considered myself more of a sports highlight fan than a sports fan.
Oh, there we go.
I prefer all the highlights rather than the actual game, but that's just me.
Well, that's one of the more intelligent things we've actually heard from any of our guests. So
probably
kudos on that.
Most intelligent for a while.
I did hear the Jamie Kurtzman episode. And
what are your views on Jamie Kurtzman? He'll probably be listening to this in his cave. What are your views on Jamie Kurtzman?
I'm just generally surprised that he's going to be going to Harvard with a scholarship. I mean,
well, aren't we all?
I'm surprised as well.
Yeah, he may not look like much, but you drop a box of matchsticks in front of him and you'll see remarkable things from Emil Cohen.
Well, let's see. First thing I guess that comes to mind is generally the slowness of the game. I think what most people tend to think of the boringness of it.
The boringness of it.
That's what most North Americans seem to think, at least.
Too slow for the mind of Jamie Kurtzman.
Yeah, clearly.
I think we made a bit of a pact not to rip on Kurtzman anymore after his episode, but it's proving very difficult, isn't it?
I don't think we made that pact.
No. Okay.
No, we're good.
We can keep ripping on Kurtzman. But anyway, the man of the hour here is Caleb, actually. So you say that the game is too slow.
But what is this based on?
Well, I've never been drawn into the sport. I've seen it on TV sometimes. I've flipped through the channels. It's on that Spanish network sometimes, but I never stopped to pay attention to it.
The Spanish league is traditionally quite slow. But
is it?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. It's another thing. I'm not really sure about the differentiation between the leagues, but
no, but you think
that's the longest word used by any guest.
Differentiation, differentiation. Six syllables
right there. That's pretty good.
Well, that's 5 ahead of Kurtzman. Anyway, so you find the game too slow, but if I recall correctly, you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z. That's right.
I am a fan of Dragon Ball Z.
Here we have a show where basically we got two guys. I don't know if you guys, our listeners, are familiar with Dragon Ball Z, but it's that one where the guys are the
and that's
Saiyans,
not even real. That's not even real.
But my point is this: basically, you have 20 minutes of two guys just sending energy beams to one another, and you get the closed captioning saying orgasmic sounds.
And those balls of energy are not real.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
So
They're made in Japan.
How is it that you don't find that slow, but you find soccer slow?
Dragon Ball Z, it's slow because of artistic value in a sense. I find
the artistic value.
It's going to draw. It's drawing towards something. It's like I expect after this big charge up, after he's screaming for 5 minutes, he's going to.
So you don't think football
start fighting the other guy?
You don't think football builds up to anything?
Sometimes it builds up to a headbutt to the chest, so it seems. But other than that, I haven't seen that much action.
So you'd like to maybe build it up to fighting the guy eventually.
Would you like it better if the players sent energy balls at each other?
A little bit, I think. Yeah, actually, that would be exciting. The thing is, if soccer built up to something exciting, then maybe I'd watch it more. But it seems to build up the same thing every time.
And what is that? That thing?
It's a low score in all the games and not much action, so it seems.
Basically, why do you say it's a low score?
So it seems, though.
Well, okay. How many other sports can you end a game with a 0-0 tie and have that be the final score? I don't see any other sport, to be honest.
But that's because the defenders are better than the defenders in other sports.
Well, I mean, it's just the nature of the game.
Yeah, really.
I don't understand why the amount of points scored should be the arbiter of the quality of a match. Is basketball the best sport?
It makes the value...
In my opinion, I'm personally a big fan of basketball.
It makes the value of a goal so much more. People care so much more for a goal than a basket. Fans barely celebrate a basket. Unless it's in the last second.
Well, how about this? You have hockey, right?
Yeah.
Hockey,
unfortunately,
scores... Unfortunately, why? Because it's...
you can't see the puck.
Go on.
You can't go on.
Anyway, so hockey, you got... Maybe it's the smaller rink, but you got action happening all the time. Guys are rushing on and off the ice, hitting each other.
That's just substitution.
You can end with 11 goals in a game if you're one team. you're not going to have a 0-0 tie at the end because you'll go to, let's say, a shootout, something like that.
You could.
Theoretically, in hockey, you could have a 0-0.
Theoretically, in basketball,
you could have 0-0 tie.
Not gonna, unless it's like a Northern girls junior basketball game. Or no, I'm sorry, if any Northern. I've never seen one of your games. I'm just assuming they're bad. Sorry. Like I don't understand why there has to be a constant amount of points scored. Do you think like billions of people would be obsessed with the sport to the extent that they are, it being the most popular sport on earth by a considerable margin, if there wasn't something there?
You see, soccer's the most popular sport?
Oh, easily.
What about cricket?
Are you serious? Compare the cricket world.
Anyway, well, I mean, maybe it's North American audiences. Yep. That could be it, you know? I think that's really a key.
I think that's
we like our action a lot too much. Our hot dogs shoved down our face at 90 miles an hour, and you know, but
home of UFC, yes,
exactly. Yeah. You know, I feel like there could be changes made to make it more appealing to the North American audience.
I guess this leads us rather naturally into our changing the sport feature.
Changing football?
Changing football.
How would you change football? We're going to do five ways you could change football to make it more enjoyable for you and probably the North American audience.
Oh boy, that's a really tough one now that you get down to it.
I think we already had one idea. Energy balls.
Only trampolines as a field? Maybe?
Only trampolines?
Yeah.
Just one big trampoline or
would that not be dangerous?
10 small trampolines.
10 small trampolines?
Yeah, 10 small
would
trampolines.
Players not get their feet trapped in between the small...
trampoline section?
But isn't that what's exciting? Don't we want to see people hurt themselves a little bit? No?
Go on. It's your feature. I mean, you can say we got trampolines now. We're bouncing around in there.
Oh, no. That's... You see, maybe that's a thing.
What if Lampard gets motion sickness?
See, maybe soccer is just so baseline boring that you can't even make it better. You can't even make it more exciting.
What if we give him like...
If it's so bad, then it should be the sport you can improve the most.
I don't understand.
Okay, that's good. That's what this show is all about.
Clearly, yes.
Yeah. But on the trampolines, how would the trampolines make it more exciting? Would the trampolines somehow increase the sport now that the players can't really move around?
I think the goalie would have a lot harder of a time. Maybe you'd see a lot more goals.
No, but the outfield players wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, how are they going to pass it around?
They'd just be trying to like falling around.
Passing it through the air. That's
they can do that now.
They gotta develop a whole new range of skills if they're playing on trampolines. Let me tell you that. Maybe if the ball was on fire.
The ball's on fire?
Yeah, that could work.
The ball's on fire, and the
goalie would be a lot more afraid.
Caleb, I know I don't mean to touch, but I know you're a recreational drug user. All my cell phone's going on. That was my mother wondering where I am. Anyway, what we were talking about earlier, Caleb, I know you like to dabble in that field. I wonder if you're a little bit off sideways today and you're thinking about the trampolines, the soccer.
I haven't done any today. I have not indulged yet.
Okay, so this is completely.
But so you would like a sort of fusion between Dragon Ball Z and football?
Yeah.
You know what? Yes, I would. I would like to see that. And maybe if people could be launching energy balls from their hands.
I mean, they were like
we kind of went a bit more realism in these changes.
He can do whatever he wants. I think Dragon Ball Z. I used to.
I like the trampolines idea. I think that could.
But Dragon Ball Z, they were like.
I like to see hockey. I like to see hockey on trampolines.
I mean, can we put like some turtles instead of players? Because like not all of them are humans in Dragon Ball Z.
That is true. That there's a pig in the show. So never really got.
Is that the third change? Turtles instead of players?
Turtles instead of players? Yeah, sure. Turtles instead of players. Balls on fire.
Caleb, let's not go crazy. They can't all be turtles. We're looking at like an 8
no, you're right. That would make
to 1 player
that would make
to
the pace
turtle ratio.
That would make the pace of the game even slower, right?
I mean, here you just see the occasional turtles crushed once in a while.
Yeah.
Alright, so what have we done so far? We put trampolines, flaming soccer ball,
turtles. So 2 more.
2 more? I have to make 5 changes.
It's not easy. It's a big ask.
It's a big ask. Kurtzman playing up to 3.
All right. The field is actually 8 kilometers long, and the players use helicopters.
But how would this work? Doesn't that defeat the point of the trampoline?
A little bit.
This is sounding a lot like.
You see what you got to do.
Now,
you see what you got to do. Take down the other person's helicopter, grab the flaming soccer ball, parachute from there with the turtle in hand and the flaming soccer ball.
But are the turtles,
bounce off the
turtles
trampolines and get it in the net.
Are the turtles not the players?
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, turtle can't pilot a helicopter. This is outrageous. I mean, I accept everything you've said so far as reasonable. You expect me to suspend disbelief and expect a turtle to pilot a fucking helicopter? I don't think so.
You go so far, man. You're the last one.
It's specially designed for the turtle. That's the key.
You gotta build a stadium 8 kilometers long.
So
that's all right.
Are people meant to watch this sport, or is it just fun to play?
No, actually, you're not allowed to watch it at all.
Is that the thing?
It's illegal.
Is that the thing? There's no spectators anymore?
It's a 75 age minimum.
75?
Only people above the age
Only
of
turtles
75.
above the age of 75.
So that's a good way to, I know we have a lot of problems in our society with the aging population. That's a nice way to sort of let Grandpa go gracefully by sending him into a helicopter with turtles and a flaming soccer ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that feature is done.
Now,
yeah.
I'd like to hear a little bit about your experience of soccer. Tell us how many games you've watched and what
if you've ever watched a game from start to finish.
I don't think I have ever watched a game from start to finish, and that it seems to be a big problem with all of us soccer haters.
Yeah.
So I've seen
ignorance.
Yeah, we are all we're an ignorant bunch. No,
Lack
but I
of
mean,
attention span.
I guess the first soccer I ever really watched was in 2006 in the World Cup. That's where I get my most of my soccer.
And you saw the headbutt. And
I saw the headbutt.
To that earlier.
Yeah, I did. The thing with all the World Cup games, I'm always just choosing a team almost arbitrarily. I never really know who I want to root for. I don't know what the player is.
It's called the Reed Patterson method.
Exactly.
You don't have roots in any of the countries that have competed in it?
I'm part English, but sometimes
there you go.
I don't really like rooting for the English. I like rooting for the smaller teams, Ecuador, stuff like that. Ghana, maybe. I saw that game, the Ghana. What was it?
Played
Uruguay. Yeah, sorry. That was exciting.
What do you think of the Jan handball?
I thought
Luis Suarez handball.
Yeah, Luis Suarez.
It's funny. It's a really bad thing, obviously. He almost gave away the game, but it's he also saved the game. Saved time too. It's incredible. But what I was going to say is that game. No. This is what I'm going to go on to say. The last maybe 5 minutes of the game were incredible, and the 85 minutes or so leading up to it didn't offer me very much.
But it was actually 120. Didn't it?
120?
Yeah.
They went to extras?
Time, yes.
So the first 115.
115 was it was a chore to watch it. The last 5 was exciting, but
maybe what they ought to do. And the thing is
only the last 5 minutes of the game. That's all it is.
Pre-record all the games, and then all the stuff that isn't interesting, just make it go really quickly.
Oh, that would be perfect for me, being a sports highlight fan.
It's always funny too when you see stuff that's going.
Yeah, for sure.